begin. Welcome to the ride.
That the Jeff Hardy juke you got going on? Hold on, let him get it out. Let him get it out. You feeling it?
That Jeff Hardy or Jacob Fatu, which is it?
No, I think that he had some rhythm there, so that was a little Jeff Hardy. I see it. I seen it. Hello, one and all. It is us back for as advertised our SummerSlam pick show. It is myself, the People's Choice, Don Rodriguez, joined by the Nubian Sumo, who's firing one up, and the juking man himself, the big guy KG, feeling it as we are 7 days away from SummerSlam 2026. 7 days away before you see that I am the greatest picker ever, because I will still be your reigning, defending picks champion 7 and 8 days from now.
Is that nose picker or booty picker?
Butt scratcher.
Hey, just know that the pick is consistent. That's all y'all need to know. What's up, fellas? How's it been over the last 7 days?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I'll tell you that.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing all right. I took a serious bump yesterday. Got into a car accident.
Oh no. Well, we're glad you are.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, how you get into a car accident and you don't drive?
I was with Raj.
Oh. Everybody all right?
Yeah, we all right. Yeah.
Is daughter all right? Isn't that this weekend y'all doing that?
No, that's 2 weeks, like 2 weeks from now. The weekend of the 16th.
Okay.
2-3 weeks from now. But yeah, we everybody's all right. No, I'll tell you more about it off screen, but I'm a little sore, but I'll be all right. I will endure.
You get to stay home from work?
Nah, it ain't that serious.
Ain't that bad.
No, I wasn't that bad.
I ain't messing up the money. So, gents, believe it or not, I'm sorry. Go ahead, KG. What you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, but you know, Sumo. Sumo ain't gonna mess. He ain't gonna mess up with no money. He ain't got
no kids.
He ain't gonna mess up no money. Now, hold on.
He can miss a day. So we got a lot to talk about. Believe it or not. We got San Diego Comic-Con wrapping up. That's some industry scuttlebutt that's been going on. I'm gonna get y'all opinions with, and we still got to get the picks for SummerSlam going in. So we've got a jam-packed show, believe it or not. So first thing I want to get into, believe it or not, is going to be Santana, Mike Santana. What's your thoughts on that, Sumo? Walking into NXT this week, making his presence known.
We kind of knew it was going to happen. He's been coming in and out of NXT for a while now. A lot of people thought that he might go to the main roster since he's so established already, but NXT needs him a lot more in there than they do on the main roster because they've gutted themselves lot as far as NXT is concerned. So he's going to be a nice fit, and then he shouldn't have to go through too much polishing as far as the WWE style of wrestling or the system. So my only concern would be them changing his name, because they're talking about changing his name. So
that's typical.
It is typical, but I mean, he's already established as Mike Santana. I guess, and it is his real name. So I guess before he gets to the main roster, I guess they'll go ahead and switch him over. But we'll see.
I think they may let him ride, because some folks that they've gone through NXT, they went ahead and just rolled the dice just to see what happens and what the brand recognition is. Cut a deal, especially if you're running through NXT on merchandising and stuff like that. Hey, we'll let you hold on to your name. We get maybe a higher percentage of the proceeds, since it's not one of ours. That'll break it off at whatever percentage they do. So they can, if he's smart, he can negotiate some stuff. But I think he needs to stay Mike Santana, or he just may drop the Santana. I'm sorry, the Mike.
Mike, yeah.
Just be Santana.
If he just drops the Mike.
But then again, he was also, just known as Santana when he was teaming with Ortiz.
Yeah.
So then he really.
But the only reason I'm bringing it up is because they didn't mention his name when he made his appearance on NXT the other night.
Yeah.
So they didn't say his name. They didn't acknowledge his name at all. So
they did the same for Ricky Starks, and was it Blake Monroe as well? So we'll see. Hopefully, if he does pick something, he picks something, just like we saw with Royce Keys, that makes sense. That just wasn't too far off the reservation. That would just hurt his brand. But we'll see. So I will tell y'all, it's been a while since we've had a lot of info, non-Royal Rumble related, non-WrestleMania related in general. Just a lot of stuff is happening as we're transitioning through. So we're going to have a lot of topics before we get to the picks. So, gentlemen, I'll be hitting y'all off with some rapid fire stuff. So be prepared in this show to, come ready to retort and talk about what your thoughts are. And the next thing I want to talk about is also kind of shocking. And I really want to get, KG, your thoughts on, does this line up with the norm? Or do you feel like that there's some creative issues and some creative woes? Netflix released earlier this week on the 17th, right around the 17th of this past week, the viewership numbers for all the PLE events that have happened the first half of 2026, starting with the Royal Rumble. So if the Royal Rumble is the bar, PLE-wise, they hit 3.1 million views worldwide for the Royal Rumble. Elimination Chamber, the immediate follow-up to the Rumble, was 1.9 million. So they lost a little bit of luster there. But then we were on the road to WrestleMania, as we know. So we ramped up WrestleMania Saturday, 2.7 million views. So, we kicked it back up. WrestleMania Sunday, the flagship day, hit 3 million. So from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania Sunday, they averaged, we'll just call it about 2 to 2.5 million viewers. But after WrestleMania Sunday, that's where things start to get interesting as we move into SummerSlam. Backlash. We went from 3 million at WrestleMania Sunday to 1.4 million viewers on Netflix. Clash in Italy went up just a nosebleed, up to 1.6 million. And then Night of Champions, which this is where I'm posing it to KG, because we started, remember, at 3 million at Royal Rumble, the beginning of the Netflix era. when it comes down to PLEs. We went from 3.1 million to 1 million for Night of Champions. And KG, I know you have some feelings. You've always had feelings about how Night of Champions, you talked about a couple of weeks ago, should be presented, who should be vying for championships, how it should be set up, what was missed this past year and stuff like that. So 3.1 million on the high, 3 million still on the high for WrestleMania. And then now we're ending at 1 million at Night of Champions. Can SummerSlam kick us back up to 3 mil? Can we at least get to 2.5 mil? What's your thoughts?
I'm going to put it to you this way. And this is coming from not a wrestling fan. This is coming from a consumer. And this is also coming from somebody that looks at numbers on a daily basis. You know, just looking over the numbers for the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. If you don't make it easy to consume, how can I consume the product? If you do, WWE needs to go ahead and do a focus group. How do you consume our products for our PLEs? Because there's nowhere in four hills. Now, last year they got 3.2 million viewers for on Netflix for Royal Rumble. But if you think about it, I think that was last year was the first year on Netflix, right?
Yep.
Numbers may be up, but it's the way you're forced to consume WWE, because not everybody wants to do the Netflix thing. Not everybody wants to do. You got to have Netflix. You got to have Peacock. You got to have all these different streaming services just to watch wrestling, and it's pissing people off. Now, as far as a Night of Champions, how can we call it Night of Champions if it happened in the middle of the day? We're not.
I knew he was going to go there.
I mean,
it was night where they were.
Yeah, it was night where they were, but it wasn't night here. And I'm not saying I'm talking about anything over across the pond and anything, but what I'm saying is you put us in a bad, and I say us as in Americans, you put us in a bad space, because Saturday morning, late Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, that's when you're trying to get everything done so you can have Saturday night free. You know, most people go through the week and they say, man, when Saturday come, I'm going to sleep in, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z because I want Saturday night free. Mm-hmm. Mostly because they want to come spend it with the Saturday Night Wrestlemaiacs. But when they don't, you want to watch, you want to consume a NXT takeover on a Saturday night. You want to consume a AEW or something like that. Now, if you do it on Sunday, you do everything you got to do Sunday so you can settle in on Sunday night and do what? Watch your show. There's no time to settle in and watch it. You're putting on a show in the middle of the day. Most people, they either running errands or they're at work at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're like, well, viewership's down. Yeah, it's look where you put it at. It's the time slot. When is everybody home? Oh, everybody's home on a Saturday, especially if we showing a pay-per-view between 7 and 11. Then why not show a pay-per-view in, or PLE as you call it, in that slot? It's common sense, but common sense ain't so common. Whoever is setting these things up,
I say this is also where kayfabe, the lack of kayfabe, ruins everything as well.
Exactly,
because it's not like they can delay the airing because everything's on social. That would have solved it if they did the show and it showed in Saudi, and then it shows regular time here. It would balance itself out, but you can't.
But everything and everybody has to put everything on Front Street. I don't like it personally. I think that, and it's not the superstars, it's not the performers, it's not the people backstage, not the guys in the truck. It's the people that are attending. You know, your numbers will be way higher if you actually use the formula that was laid out. As much shit as we give VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, He had a
we'll get to
formula.
him.
All you have to do is follow the formula. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to add no cinnamon, no sugar, no salt, no pepper. Just do the recipe the way he said do it, and you're good. That's it. And then on Night of Champions, hey, how about we defend every belt on the whole fucking company? Because that's what Night of Champions is for.
Yep.
Night of Champions isn't for Sumo to sit there and be world champion and be like, you know what, I'm not defending my title on Night of Champions. But Sumo, you have to. Nah, I'm not doing that. Not because he think he'll lose, but he just don't feel like it. No, it's not it's not a matter of should I, shouldn't I? No, I'm gonna put my shit on the line. Now, being as though I use the example of Sumo, I know he's not gonna be afraid to defend his title anytime. It's other people that's afraid to defend their title. So
I know you ain't talking. I
ain't never ran for no record. I'm just gonna leave it like that. But anyway,
Sumo may want to get back as the lightning going to strike.
But you gotta have that oomph, and they're not giving us that oomph. They're not giving us what we desire. It's like they're catering to everybody else except wrestling fans, if that makes sense.
But hey, I got something before you get too deep into it on the flip side for Sumo, because you were talking about, all this in reference to the Netflix era and how it's coming down the pike. But on the other side of the coin, AEW is flourishing thanks to its partnership with HBO Max. Sumo this past week, AEW Dynamite drew 786,000 with a 0.15 rating, which is a huge increase in viewership and in its 18 to 35 demo. So Dynamite is on the rise.
No, I'm saying, what week was that?
That was last week.
Like this past Wednesday?
Yeah.
Or the week before?
The week before. I'm sorry, week before.
Oh, so that was the week of Kenny Omega winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So they still got some life. So if we're down in viewership on Netflix, and there was a report that they're giving them to 2028, but if there's no increase on the Raw side, Triple H and Nick Khan may be in some troubled waters, so to speak. AEW is posting, starting to spike some stuff. If they can hold 1 million consistently throughout the show, and I know it's a long show, but consistently on average throughout the show, what does this mean for WrestleMania? We already know WWE is trying to counter program through MSG, which I think is stupid. Don't fight the battle in New York. Fight it state-wise. Take over, and I'm quite sure they'll probably steal this because they'll do some type of watch party for WrestleMania in major movie chains. And I would recommend IMAX if we're going to put it out there. It should be in IMAX theaters, and they should also use that to launch, in my opinion, more awareness to those movie theaters that have the alcohol and the food built in, to get a complete WrestleMania package. Hint, hint. But
they've already said they're going to do that, the watch party.
Well, I'm talking like a serious scale. I'm talking, AMC or another major chain.
Probably Tom. What's that? Tom's watch something.
Yeah.
They got there's one down at the harbor, at the National Harbor. I forget. It's Tom's watch
something. Yeah,
but
now
they've been dealing with them a lot lately, as far as showing PLEs is concerned. So
if they were smart, I did send them the message. They don't want to. I don't know if they're acting on it, if they're working on it. Hopefully they are. I think it's finally time for them to go VR. Can you imagine sitting front row at WrestleMania? I'd pay $100 to sit front row via MetaQuest and be able to see the show front row.
But they kind of doing that though, aren't they? With that,
not at that
what's
stage.
that? What's that place that they doing with the real big screen?
Yeah, but it's only one vantage point.
Oh, it's one vantage. Okay.
Versus what they were doing 2 years ago, where they had 2 vantage points. One at the pillar, and then there was another one that was on ringside on the hard cam side that gave the 2 perspectives, the pullback and then the up close in the actual ring from I think it's the bottom right hand corner post. But I'm talking about full VR. You could turn around, you can see other people. A 300, I don't know how you would work this out, but a 360-degree type of camera rig that shows all angles. And then they can also have one on the entrance ramp, so that way you can experience that if you wanted to convert it and just watch the entrance as the wrestlers come down. You could do so much with that. But they won't listen to me. I sent them that message. Was that last January or something like that? Sent it to Tony Khan too. Just so you know, I try to give everybody opportunity to jump on board and just take it to the next level. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Let me say this, Don. Sumo. You look at what Raw was, and I hate saying this because it seems like I'm so stuck in the past and how things were. But if it wasn't broke, why break it? Raw had never had a problem with viewership when they were on USA. Even when Raw was on TNN, they didn't have a problem with viewership. You move Raw from USA, where it has been for the last, 30 years we made it? And you move it over to Netflix. Again, a lot of people don't have Netflix. A lot of people don't want Netflix. It's another bill. So why would you move something that you can watch on basic cable over to a streaming service and think that your numbers are not going to go down?
You took SmackDown because they're getting money off of
it. And I understand that's supposed to be your bottom line, but that's when you start charging more for a time slot because it's prime time. You charge more for the ads. It's prime time. Then you take SmackDown. And you got SmackDown on Friday. I said move SmackDown back to Thursday and put it on network TV, but you got it on the CW. Excuse me, the CW. That's good. But when you moved it to Fox, excuse me, it wasn't, the numbers were okay, but they weren't great. Fox had too much of a hand into what went on the show. Now, Fox doesn't tell The Simpsons what to put on their show. Why the hell are you telling WWE what to put on their show?
Because they can.
I don't believe in that. I'm not cool with that. I'm not okay with that. Thank you, Toots.
You're welcome.
I'm not, because this right here, this is my show. Fox should not be telling me what to do on my show. They should be telling Sumo what to do on his. Don, they shouldn't be telling you what to do on yours, because these are your shows. You don't tell anybody else that. You got too many. There's too many hands in the pot, too many cooks in the kitchen. Shit gets fucked up. Right. That's where we're at right now.
That's why you got all those firings going on over at ESPN right now.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. But that's also because of them acquiring NFL Network, and instead of them. Same thing with, I talked about this on Tuesday. You had WCW and WWE. Instead of you saying, we're going to run both of these as separate entities, ECW, separate entity, you combine them all together, and next thing you know, everybody's getting damn fired.
I got something to say.
You have your hand up, sir?
Yeah, because we're about to watch it happen again. We've already got 2 casualties. Speaking of ESPN, Jonathan Coachman and Thunder Rosa. And I am not happy about this one. WWE announced this week that they are going to be unveiling very soon WWE Radio on Sirius XM. And part of that is now Busted Open Radio. is going to be converted into the WWE radio.
Don't tell me you're just not hearing this, KG.
I am. That's why I'm getting ready to call a timeout. I need
No. We got to lay it all on you. The reason why
he ain't done yet.
The reason why there's no Coach in Thunder Rosa is because Coach is critical of the business, but he's spoken critically about WWE, and he has another podcast with Vince Russo, who we know is openly critical about WWE. Sometimes he's middle of the road, hard and fair, but and then Thunder Rosa is directly associated. She just got the stray, and that's the worst one of all. Just a stray bullet. Hey, we're gonna have to let you go because you are tied in the Tony Khan, Ring of Honor, AEW.
Yeah, she signed AEW. Yeah.
Even though the whole premise of Busted Open Radio with Bully Ray, who's been openly criticizing all businesses, Tommy Dreamer openly criticizing all businesses. Natty she'll just fold in because she's WWE. But who I'm really pissed with is David LaGreca. Because that whole show was founded off of just being honest about professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Yeah, just talking about it. Nick Nemeth may be out potentially because he's criticized to an extent. He's told the line a little bit, but he was also a host. They're going to be gutting it for the most part and WWE-ifying it.
And they're not going to have Nick. They had Nick Nemeth on there for a good while.
Yeah,
he was coming in and out, so they're not going to have him anymore.
So really, the last great hope of just general, with unequivocal, I am not obliging any group, is Jim Cornette. He's the only one that will, and I'm not saying anything against some of the other podcasters. I know Jeff Jarrett has a really good one. I know Eric Bischoff has a really good one, and others, but they can still kind of WWE walk in and out. Cornette's like, I don't really care. He's just going to say what he's going to say. And that's what I liked about Busted Open. Do we leave Mark Henry? Mark Henry, it was AEW. He's not,
but he's signed to WWE though. So,
but he's kind of still a little bit on the outskirts and criticizing different things. Recently, just about booking and stuff like that. What is
see? And we gonna bring in KG. I know you get.
I know you want it.
I know you got a lot to say right now, but this is why I'm saying they can no longer be trusted because you're now got all of these former WWE talent, former WWE agents and Tommy Dreamer. You got their WWE now. I mean, it's going the way of the Undertaker. The Undertaker show. Because the Undertaker show was drastically changed when they got rid of old boy and put Michelle McCool in his place, and WWE took it over.
It became Michelle McCool show.
Cody Rhodes show. Cody Rhodes podcast. It just dramatically changed whenever WWE took it over. So yeah, they're not. If you're looking for straight up opinions about the world of professional wrestling from Busted Open Radio from now on, you might want to take it with a grain of salt. KG,
go ahead, let it out. let your feelings be heard. But I will say this before you speak: if WWE wanted to come over and kick us some cash and be like, "We want y'all too," okay. Sorry, go ahead, KJ. I just had to throw it out there because I know you was wound up.
Well, I am because if you think about it, now I'm a fan of Busted Open Radio. That's one of the favorites in the car, and I listen to a little Busted Open Radio, and I love Busted Open Radio because it's not from AEW side, it's not from WWE side, it's not TNA, it's not GCW, it's not I say wrestling. It's nobody. It's just talking wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
WWE does not do well with podcasts. Now, see, that's all, and I'm saying that because I want him to prove me wrong. You had the 6 Feet Under podcast. Everybody was loving it. WWE says, okay, it's the Undertaker. Let's jump in on this. And you immediately make changes, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm not listening to this anymore. You know, it's a dude on TikTok. I told you guys about him. He does this impression. He says, you know, as the Undertaker, he says, you know, I sat there and I watched Gorilla Monsoon pick a man up while he was dying from cancer. Oh, Mark, nobody wants to hear that. We had egg salad for breakfast. That's what we want to talk about. And it's like, yo, it's funny, but it's true. You came in and you messed up a whole thing. Only thing I think we got left, Grilling with JR, they still doing that. What's his name? Conrad.
Conrad, yeah.
Yeah. Conrad still has most of his shows going, so yeah.
Probably one of the most hardest working dudes in podcast land because he does a podcast with everybody. I know Chris Jericho was doing a podcast at one time. What was it?
Raw is Jericho, not Raw is Jericho, but
Pod is Jericho or something like that.
No, he would call it Pod is Jericho, but that wasn't the name of the.
It was like it was something as a play on it.
Yeah,
but because I remember one of my favorite episodes, and I always go back and I listen to it. Was his episode with Chavo.
Yeah,
and I mean it's a long listen, but just him and Chavo sitting there talking. That's good radio. That's good podcast. I don't understand why WWE feels the need they have to take over everything. And
it's not even WWE.
Yeah,
it's TKO.
I understand that. But you don't you know what? Don, I don't want you on this podcast. We're going to pick up the Saturday Night Wrestlemaiacs, but we got to get rid of Don because he's so critical of WWE. And we don't want, so you want people that's going to kiss your fuzzy behind. That's not how this works. If everybody shows love to you and never says you do anything wrong, that means you're surrounded by a bunch of yes men and women. That does not make for good listening. Because guess you, oh man, you just a WWE mark. I don't want to listen to this. Ratings are going to be in the toilet.
But here's what I don't get. We're in a Triple H era. And I know this is going to sound funny, but Triple H is woke. What do I mean by that?
He's woke. He's what?
He's woke. I said it's going to sound funny. Here's what I mean by that.
Please explain.
Vince McMahon only consumed, from what everybody says, I know he watched something, but only consumed WWE. So Vince, this is a Vince move. Truthfully, I want it. I don't want anything else associated with it still in existence. I want it to be mine. Triple H is woke because he understands. Look at the programming. We've heard AEW. We've seen folks from different promotions being talked about. We've seen recognition that there is something other than WWE programming. So, Trips, if you're aware, then what's the issue? Why can't you have somebody from a different promotion? They're not saying anything wrong. They're having a conversation about the business. But the oxymoron is y'all are having the same conversation too on air. So it's not like something's not being said that y'all aren't saying it on TV. So why can't Thunder Rosa be a host and talk about what's going on? She's talking about WWE as much as she's talking about AEW, as much as she's talking about TNA, as much as she's talking about everything else. What's the harm?
But see, that's the thing. They're not going to be doing that anymore.
Right. Because it's TKO.
Strictly about WWE, NXT, AAA. That's it.
And nobody wants to digest that. Because now you've only got one lane, and I give it to you, KG. You go ahead, tap Perry on the shoulder. Like, all right, whatever, we get it. But, you know, that's only one lane. You've got to speak about other things just to keep the interest.
I don't with this thing. So you know, Bully Ray is out.
No, I think he's
He's on a Legends deal, so he'll probably stay in. But
he's polarizing. LaGreca can't do it on his own.
Yeah, he's going to conform.
No disrespect to him, but you need a polarizing person to help balance the scales. The question is, who's going to be third seed? Is Tommy Dreamer going to make it? Don't know. Is Nick going to make it? Don't know. Or are they going to slide in somebody that's towing the line, like John Cena?
Okay,
somebody like that.
And everything that you said, there's two things I need for you never to do ever again from this day forth. Number one, don't use woke and Triple H in the same sentence ever again.
Yeah, that was kind of
because
I know you were like that.
Ain't woke. Anytime you can,
you tried to explain it, but that was a stretch. Yeah.
I knew it was a stretch. I just, hey, I'm quite sure. Guess what that'll be? Guess what that'll be?
Somebody that he supports wholeheartedly.
That'd be a
brother,
big.
You ain't nowhere near woke. And what's their motto? You go woke, you go broke. Yeah, okay, fine.
KG, that'll be a good clip, though, won't it?
It will be. It will be.
You're welcome.
Number two, why would I want somebody to present my product that toes the line? I don't need that.
The Sirius kicked that money out.
Yeah, Sirius kicked that money out, but I heard they doing Howard Stern wrong. Howard Stern had to lay off 12 people. He only getting 1 day a week.
Howard, it's time for Howard to tap. Because there's too much competition that Howard stick. You can see it anywhere now. It's just too much. There's too much of that everywhere. And that's before you even get to just scrolling through TikTok. AI is generating that now on TikTok.
Anytime you can say that WWE is going to take over something and they're getting rid of people that's critical of them, let me tell you something. Everybody's not going to like everything you do. Everybody don't like what we do. And that's okay. I don't hate on nobody because they don't like it. People say, well, you do your little podcast. That's fine. For every one person that calls this a little podcast, it's 40 other people that love us because the views show it. I don't give a damn if you like me or not. I don't give a damn if you don't like what we do. That shit don't matter to me. I'm not going to bring somebody in, we're going to get rid of this person because they said this back then. But if truth is truth, if you can't look inside your business and say, we were just talking about numbers. Your numbers are down. Why the fuck are your numbers down? Because your product is bad. If somebody say, well, WWE's product is bad, oh no, get rid of them. They can't be here. They got to go. We don't need to work with them. But I'm telling you the fucking truth.
Boy, they want me
to tell you the truth to hurt your feelings. You want me to comfort you with a fucking lie. Which one is it going to be? Because you can't have both.
We saw it happening in the beginning with the OG and with the New Day, with the OG podcast, Up, Down, Down. We saw it happening. We just didn't know what was coming down the road. But again, back then, Triple H was like, hey, yeah, we'll take it under our umbrella. We'll just let you do what y'all keep doing. That's why I thought, hey, things could be a little safe in that aspect because they gave them just a leeway to do whatever they were doing, even when they cut Tyler Breeze, and Tyler Breeze was still on Up, Down, Down. Some of the other folks were still showing up on Up, Down, Down. There was no issue because they were given the leeway to do what they would normally do, which is the only reason why they were able to compete with BTE, Be the Elite, and all that other stuff that was going on, is because they had, we'll call it almost creative control.
Look at what they did to Zelina Vega the first time they released her. They released her not because she was doing anything wrong, but because she was using her in-ring name on streams and, you got to cut us in on the profits. But it's a stream that I do on my own personal time. WWE doesn't sponsor anything. They don't buy any equipment. They don't do anything, but I got to cut you in.
Yeah, as soon as she used that name, though,
she would not give them a cut of her money.
That's
as soon as she used that trademark name, if she would have went at as Thea, Thea, the Thea Gaming Channel or something like that, but then I think she would have been cool. They should have been mad.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself right here on this very show. You get more traction if it's Zelina Vega, because guess what? They're going to watch her game, then they're going to watch her wrestle. What does that do? That not only puts money in her pocket with people watching her game, but that puts money in her pocket because she's selling merchandise. She's on TV. You got something with it. You got something going on. Do something about it. Yeah. Use what you got to get what you want.
But that was part one. That was just the testing waters to say, well, she making some considerable money. We're going to have to hold up because we don't want to get into a situation where you're outgrowing what we can offer you. So that way you got now some independent contractor creative leverage.
Plus the fact, Xavier Woods wasn't using his Xavier Woods name. He was using Austin Creed on Up, Down, Down. So that kind of he kind of protected himself a little bit in that. Kofi was just calling himself Kofi or going by his online name. So he wasn't really going about Kofi Kingston.
Right.
Now you had everybody that was coming on there.
Big E, though.
Their name. Big E, that Big E was using his name, but he doesn't really go by his real name on anything. So he was still using his name, but Austin Creed saw the writing on the wall early,
mm-hmm.
and kind of protected himself.
But here's who messed it up for everybody. I'm just joking when I say messed it up, but Zelina Vega was just out there just doing her thing. Who broke the mold and really messed it up from a perception standpoint is Mandy Rose.
I knew you were gonna say Mandy Rose.
A close second is, even though she's coming back, so I don't want to ruin it. What's her name? Oh gosh, she was the patriotic one. Had the thing with Sergeant Slaughter. Lacey Evans. Yeah. Well, no, sorry. No, don't put that out there. Macy Estrella,
yeah.
Those two right there coming out saying, I just made more money than I ever made there. Year over year.
Yeah, but they talk about wrestling, but not the wrestling you talking about.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But
here's the thing.
That's what TKO is seeing that. They're seeing that asset.
Mandy Rose didn't do anything wrong when the A-Train, Prince Albert, he brought that to management about what she was doing with her free time. She wasn't hurting anybody. She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't break any clauses. He cost that lady her daggone her main job because of what her side job did. And all it did was push her side job to the forefront. And she made more money off of it.
Yep.
Same thing with Macy Estrella.
She will never come back. She doesn't need to. For what?
She doesn't need to.
She said
Macy Estrella was probably one of your best women heels. And you would not use her right. The whole thing with Sergeant Slaughter and Sergeant Slaughter's daughter, you could have ran with that. You didn't.
She could have been definitely a new reboot of G.I. Joe in some aspect. But
it would have been great.
Speaking of people, though, transitioning, because that's going to be a continual point of conversation with Busted Open Radio that we're going to have to follow and see exactly how it's going to evolve and what it's going to become, and as WWE Radio, how that's going to tie into everything else. But on the positive side of things, there's some folks that have opportunities. As of a couple days ago, there's some folks that are now free agents, and they're just totally scot-free from their 90-day non-compete. Motor City Machine Guns, free agents, go wherever they want. Kairi Sane, free agent. Santos Escobar, who's already tweeted out, just watch me, is ready to go out there.
Yeah, he's already released his new name, too.
Yep. Zoe Stark is available. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Bo Dallas, along with Nikki ASH or Nikki Cross. And then Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods will be free the first week of August. Tony Khan has already came out and alluded to the fact that he's keeping a critical eye on all those free agents that are available. Outside of the New Day, which should be a shoo-in to go to AEW. Sumo, who would you take and put in AEW? Or who would you take and put in Ring of Honor? If Tony was to get him, since he's playing ball with two courts here. You know, you got Motor City Machine Guns, Kairi Sane, Santos, Zoe Stark, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, and the entire Wyatt Six. Eric Rowan, Gacy, Dexter Lumis, Bo Dallas, Nikki Nikki
Cross.
Well, no, I'm trying to remember. She's going by something else now. I can't remember it.
I can't remember.
Posted on,
yeah,
she posted on social earlier this week.
She's going back to the name that she was using in the Independence. I can't remember what it is either.
Yeah,
but it's a short name, kind of like Cross. It's not nothing crazy. Well, we know Joe Gacy is out there. You know, his new name is Joseph Sawyer.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's already got a title match for the MLW title against Killer Cross.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got that set up. That's supposed to be coming sometime soon. I don't know if he's going to go to AEW. I kind of doubt it. He's probably going to hit the independents for a while and maybe end up TNA or AEW down the line. Maybe but Ring of Honor would definitely be a place for him, I would say. Motor City Machine Guns, they're putting out videos saying that they're looking at a place. I think they're going to go to the main roster of AEW, especially since you haven't seen FTR in a while.
Yep.
You have the tag team situation in AEW right now is kind of lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
So that would work out. As far as Kofi and or Kofi, now I read somewhere that he was going to use the name Kofi Ananse. I'm not sure if that's going to be the actual case. And then Xavier Woods is going to go back to his Austin Creed name.
Right.
Now there was some type of teaser that I've seen. I'm not sure if it's accurate or not, but August the 3rd. Now, if I'm not mistaken, August the 3rd is what, a Tuesday?
Monday.
It's a Monday.
Yep. So the 5th would be Dynamite.
Yeah, so I'm not sure as to what's going on there. That might be. You said their release was on the 1st, right?
Yeah, the first week of August, they'll be free agents.
So that must be their release date. It's August the 3rd. Yeah, I'm thinking. So, and that AEW would be a natural fit for them, especially with the Elite back together again, and them going up against the Elite. And there was some sort of Comic-Con somewhere where Austin Creed and Kenny Omega were together.
Yep.
Recently. So
I'm quite sure the Tokon Fighting Championship and all that stuff, because they have Big Marvel versus Capcom. That was one of their big rival games. So we'll see them a lot, at least those two.
There has been a lot of talk about Tony Khan talking to Kairi Sane about coming over. So I can see that. Nikki Cross actually has purchased with her husband, a wrestling company.
Yeah.
So she's actually running a wrestling company right now. So I don't know if she's going to go to any other company or not. I doubt she will.
She's taking bookings though.
Yeah, she is taking some bookings outside, but I think she's going to concentrate on booking her own company. So, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Zoe Stark,
fresh off of recovery happy that she's, you know, in the mix of conversation because that was a rough injury.
I could actually see Zoe Stark going overseas.
You think so?
I can see her going to like Progress or ICW or maybe Rev Pro. Because she actually needs the, you know, like an excursion type situation.
Yeah, the hone it, get better.
They'll get hone her skills because I mean she's pretty much a WWE product.
Yep.
So for her to go out and get into the independents and kind of build up her move set and repertoire and everything, you know, that would be helpful to her down the line to where she could come back at some point to WWE and be able to be beneficial to them. Santos Escobar, I'm sure he's going to be in Mexico. He's probably going to go over to CMLL or the Crash or something like that. He may end up going back to AEW at some point under this new name. He's already teasing as to him having something going on. So he may have already signed or is in the process of signing with somebody. But I can't really tell who at this point. But like I said, like you said, we'll just have to see. But out of all of those names that we've mentioned, none of them outshadow Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
And Bayley is going to be coming up at the end of the year. That's the one that everybody's anticipating going over to AEW and hooking up with Mercedes Moné and doing her thing over in AEW. But here's the thing, though. With all these folks coming out and everything, is Tony Khan putting too many eggs in one basket by picking up these former WWE people and bringing them in? Is he falling into the black hole that WCW fell into?
Well, I think it's a lot more controlled as long as he can see the writing on the wall. Not everybody needs to go to AEW. Not everybody needs to be thrust into. That's one thing I'll give WWE because, you know, it's easy to take Mike Santana and then, you know, just put him on the main roster, put him on the main roster. But to say, hey, no, go to NXT. Let's start you there. Ricky Saints, let's go to NXT. Let's start you there. Where's Keys? Let's go to NXT. Start you there. Then transition. If he can do that, because he's got two. So, ROH, AEW. He sent some people to ROH, let them get their shine in. That's still a great place. A lot of people would love to have the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship on their resume. There's still some prestige there to say that, you know, you have that notch on your belt.
And I'm glad you said that. You know what? I'm glad you said that because now I get to give my flowers to my funny face.
I was about to bring it up. You notice I was transitioning. Yeah. I was working my way towards bringing that up. Forever.
Yeah. So
longest reigning. Go ahead.
The longest reigning world champion in modern day history, Athena, has surpassed Roman Reigns and his 1,317-day reign. I'm proud of my funny face.
Yep. I was worried for a moment. There was a couple situations, but that's where, again, Tony Khan is showing that, hey, he's got some smarts somewhere because, you know, he's putting her in situations. She may take the L creatively, but it's not affecting what they've built. That's not what she's doing is not going to happen again in our generation, period. Now, when will it end? Hopefully not for another year. Or at least half a year. Give us another 6 months. And then something can happen. But up until then, I mean, she's just run the gambit. I'd like to see her go and defend it on a world tour. Just let her go. And then she just shows up. Or she forces them to come up with another title because she ain't losing hers. Something. But
actually, they have come up with another title because right now they're in the middle of a tournament for
that's right. Yeah.
The original Ring of Honor Television Championship.
That's right. Yep.
So they did come up with another belt.
But yes, your girl. Now, the only other person.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Keep it to yourself. Don't say it.
You know you want to acknowledge it once.
Nope. Don't say it.
Can I say it?
Don't say it. Nope.
Can I say it?
Nope. You can't say it. Don't say it.
Oh man. But that's your boy.
That ain't my boy. That's your boy. That's your homeboy.
No, that's your guy. Your guy. I won't talk about it unless somebody asks me.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll say this one thing. I'll say one good thing about him.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Okay.
He finally cut that damn hair. He got him a short natural. He looked like somebody now.
Rich homie Swan, you got a shot. You got a shot.
No, you don't.
That's how it started.
Stay your ass
in Canada. That's how it started. He talked about, she just funny face. Ember Moon, funny face.
Stay your ass in Canada up there, Maple Leaf Wrestling.
Now he just acknowledged her. Rich homie Swan, you got a shot. Capitalize on that. Make sure you clip that. Clip that, Rich homie Swan. God dang it. All right, now speaking of clips, we talked about this.
We about to talk about Pusha T?
Yes, I was getting ready to start rapping grinding.
Nope. We talked about this one, and it's pretty much folding out just like we forecasted. Your boy, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, is about to have this Janelle Grant thing all behind him. It has now been taken out of the courts, it's gone into private arbitration. That thing will be settled probably, end of the quarter, which is on most terms, the end of this week coming up. If you're doing it, in that way, or the end of August, depending on which way your quarter falls. That situation will be done. Check cut. Official NDA signed again. She'll get her money for whatever undisclosed sum. And Vince McMahon is going to be off. What's his name? Raspy voice is going to be off doing whatever he wants to do now. Brock Lesnar doesn't even phasing him. He's about to have his swan song. Like it never happened. Thoughts?
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay for the $1 Million Man.
Yep.
He always gets his way.
Literally, you can't say it any better than that. We forecasted it. It was going to go quiet. Tried to drum it back up again. Went quiet again. And now it's about to be done. Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
Is this his Oba phase? What is this?
I never thought there'd be a day in my life that I understood something right away. And I understood. Not only do everybody got a price, but this man had everything going against him. Talking about pooping on the girl head and watching her with other men and all this other stuff. And
hey, Don, put him on solo for that. Put him on solo.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't look too good for her. But I'm going to say this.
Oh, there we go.
This is just all the more reason that everybody feels that Vince is going to wind up back over top of WWE because he's got a powerful friend in a low place now. Take that how you want. But I guarantee you this is a federal level act of disappearing. Don't take my word for it. Just go follow the breadcrumbs, man.
At the end of it, he should have did run.
I know, right?
You had to button that up, man. Oh man. But yeah. So there's a couple things. I'm not gonna lie to you. Does he go after it and take it back? Or does he take TNA?
I'm gonna tell you this. Anthony asked this. I'm surprised he ain't in tonight, but Anthony asked it. He said, "Do you think it's gonna happen?" I said, "No." From on a moral side, I don't think it's gonna happen. But think about this. If TKO could get rid of WWE right now, because they've been hemorrhaging money since they acquired WWE. But why are they hemorrhaging money? Because the product itself has become bad. It's become the deals has been made since TKO has taken over. Terrible. That's what makes the product bad. You can't consume it. I guarantee you, if the money is right and the numbers right, TKO would sell to Vince McMahon faster. Nah, I ain't gonna say that because that'd have been wrong. They would just they would sell back to Vince in a heartbeat.
You know my issue with that is, KG? I think that the sale could happen, but it would not be sole ownership, even under publicly traded terms. It would be Vince in partnership with the Saudis.
Yeah.
And the agreement would be that Vince would run it. Vince would have less than 50% ownership because Vince is, Father Time is undefeated.
I don't think he would take that. I think he would take somewhere. I think Triple H would have some. Stephanie would have some. The Saudis would have a really big.
He gonna split it. They gonna split it up between them. It would be him at like 49.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he'll have the biggest piece. I think that if he has 49, I think the other 51% will be divided somehow, some way between other entities. But if the Saudis
on
WWE,
this is their power play. This is their power play. They already, if you look at it, they're already working on the back end. Let's alienate the talent.
As big of a control freak Vince is, you think he's really going to give up control and interest to something he built? Number one, number two,
sold it. KG, he sold it. He
was forced to sell it. If he wasn't forced to sell it, you think he would have sold it?
He was selling it anyway. It was on the market.
Yeah,
that situation was a boardroom thing.
It was an event. It was an eventuality that he was going to.
We talked about it. It was on the market, but the boardroom thing, they just forced the hand and had to make the change for optics because that was going to affect the shareholder situation. So they couldn't let that go. So they had to shop it and let it, be what it's going to be just from that. That opened the door a little bit more versus Vince trying to sell it and get the max dollar. Because he wasn't going to give it to Shane.
No, Shane didn't want it.
Shane wanted it, but he wanted his dad's approval to get it. And he didn't have the same lane that Vince had over, Vince Sr. to be able to, transition and take it over and then make it his own and work the back end deals out and stuff like that and say, hey, look, Dad, I'm just going to buy it from you. Shane wasn't about that life. Shane wanted to sit at the head of the table with a Tyrannosaurus Rex head behind him, but he wasn't about that life. Stephanie technically was more about that life. But yeah, it could get ugly if it's Saudi driven. I'd say maybe 2 years from now.
Let me say something.
Unless The Rock joins Vince.
I'm going to say this, and it's going to be controversial, but that's what we do here. If the Saudis get a hold of WWE, none of the major pay-per-views, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Elimination Chamber, Those are your 5 major. Those are your 5 big ones. They won't be held on U.S. soil at all. All of them will be held in Saudi Arabia. Everything that, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. There's nothing you can say to me to make them holding WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia next year sit right with me. And I'm not taking this away from anybody around the world. There's wrestling fans all over the world. It's just certain things that you don't do. That's like if they have the Super Bowl in London one year. Why are we having a Super Bowl in London? What do they call it? What do they call the NFL outside of the United States?
Would that be kind of bad form, though, considering that we just had the World Cup in the U.S. and the World Cup finished in New York City?
Again, what do they call the NFL outside of the United States?
Definitely not soccer.
American football is what they call it.
Right.
You do not have quite possibly one of the biggest events in sports, an American sport. You don't have it anywhere that's not on American soil. You don't have the fan base in London like you would have in a California, a New York, a Florida, a Texas. You know, any of these places you have Super Bowls at. That's the same thing goes for when you have WrestleMania. You want to make money? I said it before. You want to make money? You go to Vegas. You go to the Mercedes-Benz Dome. You go to Madison Square Garden. But you can do. When the last time we had an outdoor WrestleMania? It's been a couple of years, right? I think that was 22, 23. We had Tampa Bay back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Do it in L.A. at the L.A. Coliseum. The L.A. Coliseum seats 110,000, and that's just for a football game.
Oh, they bring it to Atlanta. They need to bring it to Atlanta.
You can do it there, but you can open a roof in Atlanta. It's so many options in America that you can do. If the Saudis get a hold of WWE, which is my whole point, everything that you've ever known your entire existence as a wrestling fan will be no more. Because guess what? If I'm Saudi, I'm going to take something that I love and I'm going to bring it to my people. And I don't blame them for it. They got the money. They got the means. Everything's going to be over there. We're not going to be able to go to any type. We might be able to go to a Raw. Man, pretty soon Raw and SmackDown going to be broadcast in the Middle East. And I ain't talking about tour for the troops neither.
But what if ticket sales went down, though? When they bought it, like, you know, we talking floor seats back to 300, section 100,
what would it mean? What would it mean if there's no house shows for WWE on United States soil? What does that mean for you and I and Sumo and everybody else is here that doesn't travel? That's not going to travel across the ocean, another continent, and the desert to go see a house show.
Hey man, it's Riyadh season.
Yeah, but I'm not. It may. That's the shit that pisses me off. Why does it have to be Riyadh season? Like, come on, man.
I don't know, but you don't need some of that good Triple H gas.
Nah, I'm good.
Can you imagine that? Let's go and get some of that weekly petrol when you pull up to your gas station. You at a Shell station with the little cameras. You know, mess around, see some WWE footage.
I can't see two things. I can't see the Saudis buying WWE, and I can't see Vince taking it back over. Because regardless if he's going to put this behind them, come on, it's just sweeping it under the rug at this point.
You're going to be blind pretty soon. Let it be noted. You won't see it, but you're going to be blind pretty soon.
So you telling me this whole Janelle Grant thing, this is not just sweeping it under the rug. This is not a rectification. It's
about to be a signed, sealed, and delivered document of whatever it's going to be.
You know what that mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that mean.
Mm-hmm.
She going to get a nice 7-8 figure number to never speak of it again.
Yep.
So
he's already signed the NDA, then it's a wrap.
It's done. So what you're telling me is the atrocities that you went through had a price tag on it.
It already had one.
Yeah,
that's like I said to start this. Everybody's got a price.
That's the problem.
Third price tag attempt. Because remember the first one,
went through
they basically said
we went through
for it.
The Me Too movement. We went through all of this. All this stuff came out only for you to take the money. That's what it's all about. You're telling me that we could have avoided all of this if they would have just paid you up front, but because you didn't get paid, you blew the whistle. You made a big deal about it. Now you're getting your money and you ain't gonna say nothing.
I'm not saying anything crazy, but it just for record, if I remember correctly, the whole situation started
because she wasn't
when, yep, the whole premise. Hey, you didn't pay me what you said you was going to pay me for the NDA that I already had.
So I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it alone. From beginning to end, in my best Stephen Ogg, a.k.a. Trevor Phillips voice, it was all bullshit.
Hey, look, in the words of the great philosopher, I saw P, I moved. She saw P, she stayed. Now, where does the responsibility fall on her?
I just watched that episode earlier this week.
Y'all stupid. All right, so I know it's been an hour and 11 minutes into the show, but we did promise some picks. So we are going to transition. Just wanted to cover some of those topics. It's been a while since we run around the horn on some of the stuff that's, the most, the high level topical stuff that's been going on in wrestling, sports entertainment, etc. But it is now pick time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for me to lay it down the smack that will guarantee following next week's Survivor Series that I will still be your current and reigning 2026 Wrestlemaiacs pick champion. So, gentlemen, you ready? KG, you got your book?
I got the book. I'm already ready. Got everything.
He's got the ink in hand. So we'll start it off with the United States Championship. Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin. I'm going to keep the belt on Trick. Sumo?
As much as I want to say they're going to put this belt on Baron Corbin, I got to stick with Trick.
KG?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm feeling you with that, Sumo, and I think this is where they put Trick in the trick bag and they put it on Baron Corbin. Give me Baron Corbin.
Okay.
You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I know.
I want to be saying whoop that Trick, but hey, it's okay.
All right. Next matchup. Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Paige. So we got a returning Nikki versus Fatal Influence of JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Lainey Reed. KG?
Give me the Bellas.
Yep, I agree with that because there's no title on the line, so no loss here. So I'm going with the Team Bella. Sumo?
Yeah, I'm going with Fatal Attraction.
You think they're going to heal their way out of it?
Yeah, I think they're going to heal their way out of it. Plus, they got the belts, so yeah, I'll see.
It's a wash either way.
Yeah.
I'll see you on that. All right. Let's go ahead and work this one out. For the interim WWE Women's Championship, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton versus Chelsea Green versus Charlotte Flair versus somebody else. I don't know if they've announced it or not, in a ladder match. So, Sumo, you got Jade, Tiffany, Chelsea, Charlotte, Mystery.
I'm going to go with the mystery person because I think I know who it is.
I know, right? I'm thinking the same thing, and I'm hoping.
And if it is who I think it's going to be, then yeah, I see them pulling it out.
I'm hoping it would make sense. KG, who you got? Want me to say the names again?
No, I was looking. Who y'all got as the mystery? I want to see what y'all got.
No spoilers.
Yeah, we're not saying anything on this one.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm not saying it either. And hopefully
you can look it up after the show. How about that?
I'm going Charlotte Flair.
The Queen, okay. I don't know if you caught it, but I'm going with the mystery.
All right.
All right. Here's another one that, could go either way. Nothing is really coming out of it, so to speak. But you have the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight, Royce Keys, and LA Knight.
Yeah.
And Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa. KG, who you got?
Give me the Bloodline.
All right. Sumo?
Bloodline.
Dang. Should I go against y'all or not? I'll take the Bloodline. As much as I would like to go against it, we're still dealing with an infant face Solo. And, Royce Keys could go either way if they decide to turn him heel out of nowhere. All right, so Sumo, this is your first. Want to let you do the first pick. This is for the IC Championship, and this is going to be interesting. El Grande Americano Old, Chad Gable versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship.
You would give me that one, wouldn't you? Jesus Christ.
I know that's the match of the night. Gotta be. If nothing else for them Germans with the high bridge.
Damn.
I know it's tight.
That's a rough one there. Only because of the way they push him. I gotta go Chad Gable.
Okay. I'm going to pick Chad Gable only because in a recent interview, Penta said very soon we will see him and his brother team up. And if he's got the IC belt, that's just going to put a stay on that. So this could escalate that for the tag team division.
Well, kind of. I mean, Phoenix does have the Latin American Championship over the AAA.
Yeah, but that's a AAA thing. He doesn't have to show that on WWE TV.
He doesn't, but he has been.
I know.
He's been defending it on WWE television.
But if they become, tag champions, I guarantee you won't see it. Or he may drop it in AAA because now he's a tag champion. But that's what we wanted. So I'll be happy with the Lucha
Not
Bros.
necessarily. I mean, you had Dominic as Intercontinental Champion, AAA Mega Champion.
Yeah, but Dominic was a part of a team that we've been waiting to come to fruition. Tony Khan messed that up with Ray Phoenix. Otherwise, they'd be Lucha Bros already. They've been tag champions already. They've been in SmackDown, destroying everybody. But Penta had he got the pop. And then, we had to ride it, and then they had to figure out what to do with Ray. Now they got to figure out how to put it back together. Only way to do that is you got to take that IC off of him so he's not a target. Let them get some reps in, and then, Survivor Series, they can become champions, or WrestleMania. They can build that program. KG?
Penta.
Who you got? All right. Zero Miedo. All right, KG, you got the first pick on this one. This is for the number one contenders match, fresh off the tournament. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor.
Jesus.
Prince Devitt versus.
We going traditional Finn Balor, we going demon.
It's not the demon.
Not the demon.
Prince Devitt versus El Generico. Who you got?
Sami Zayn.
Really?
Yep. Because here's the thing. It's a method to the madness. Every time Finn Balor comes out, he sniffs a championship, number one contender, a seat at the table, whatever. They cut his legs off. He gives you a great match, and they make him lose. Sami Zayn, on the other hand, guess what? We got to keep him around. You know, he only had a 9-day run, so we need to go ahead and keep this up. Got to keep him around. It's going to set up for him and Punk to meet again. That's only logical. I learned that from sitting here with you two because it's called long-term storytelling.
I got some long-term for you in a second.
So that's where I'm at. Sami Zayn.
I see your long-term story booking. I'm just going to give you a parallel universe, one of the multiverses. I'm going to go Finn Balor because Sammy's doing some of his best work now. And I think Sammy's next claim to fame is going to be the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then that will set up the culmination. He's not going to have a match one-on-one. He's going to cash in at Money in the Bank. And he's going to take it from CM Punk. Because I think that's what would make Sammy happy. Not just beating him, but just taking it from him. Just performing a robbery. That would be finishing his story from the current Sami Zayn if I was to call it. So I'm going Finn Balor. And then Sammy's going to be pissed that he's going to cut one hell of a promo on .com. Sumo?
I think I'm going to go Finn, too.
Any particular reason or just?
What you said makes sense. But I'm just seeing Sammy as without the belt right now, he's a little bit better chasing at this point. And with Finn trying to put something together as far as a faction at some point down the line, no, he would need that, but he would need that belt to kind of push that forward.
Yeah.
You know, as a leader. So
street cred.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go with Finn.
Okay. All right. So I'll take the next one. And this is another toughie because it was announced. I don't know if you guys caught that, but Nick Aldis is temporarily not the GM of SmackDown. So that means he's due to go back.
It's temporary? It's just
temporary. Temporary.
Okay. I didn't know they announced it. Like I said, I didn't see the show last night. So
Adam Pearce, I'm sorry, Wade Barrett made that statement from what I saw. So Gunther versus Nick Aldis is the match. Aldis has to win because you can't go back to GM and this guy punked you, choked you out. Aldis has to win. Mickey James is ringside with their son. So it'll be a feel-good moment. And then I think this is also just dip your toe in the water to see what could happen. Because they still want to do Adam Pearce versus Nick Aldis. And I think if Aldis does a great job, which we know he will, then that could open the door for something maybe at WrestleMania down the road. If they're really trying to go in that long-term storytelling. So I'm going all this. KG?
I think I gotta agree with you and go Nick Aldis.
Okay.
Because you can't go back to being GM if you get punked.
Right.
Or you get choked out.
Yeah, it's like you got to go hell in a cell on this one, guy. Sumo.
Now, for everything that you said, that makes me want to go with Gunther, because even though he first of all, it doesn't hurt Aldis to lose this match.
Nope.
He will go. If he goes back to general manager, I mean, he's been out of wrestling for how long? He hasn't wrestled in how long? So for him to come in and just beat one of your top guys and one of the best wrestlers in WWE right now is kind of a stretch. And it doesn't hurt him at all, and it doesn't hurt the long term for him against Adam Pearce later on, because that just puts more emphasis on Adam Pearce to say, well, you couldn't beat Gunther. What makes you think you can beat me? You know?
True. I see that.
So I'm gonna go with Gunther.
Okay. Two good points on that one, ladies and gentlemen. It could go really either way. It's a coin toss match. It's just which story do you want to tell if the GM thing is in place.
And you said Nick Aldis, right, Sumo?
No,
I said Gunther.
You said Gunther, okay.
Since you got some good insight there, Sumo, coming up with some great ideas, I'm going to go ahead and throw you this Women's World Championship match. See what idea you got on this one. Io Sky, Liv Morgan. Keep in mind, Rhea is injured and about to be in the movie. So she got two things going on. A horror movie, I forgot the name of it, but, I don't know when it's filming, but it's the perfect time for her to do it while she's out. So,
and this is for what, the interim championship, right?
No, this is for the Women's World.
No, they said this was going to be this is interim.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. What? Yeah.
Yeah. So Rhea's still the champion. She still got the belt,
Right.
but they just naming an interim champion because of her being hurt, her being out.
Yeah.
I'm going Io.
You want to see Rhea come back and challenge Io?
Rhea comes back and challenges Io. Friend versus friend, but she's like, well, if anybody's got to have it, I prefer you have it, but I am going to have to beat you to keep my belt.
Take it back, yeah.
Yeah.
To unify. But if she takes it from Liv Morgan, that could set up the Roxanne Perez takeover. And then Roxanne and Dom. They still gotta navigate to that. Or Roxanne Perez could cost Liv the opportunity, and that could still give you that as well, and give the match to Io.
Or Liv loses, and this gives Roxanne a reason to try to push toward becoming the leader of the Judgment Day.
I'm gonna go. I don't want to do it. I think I'm gonna have to go Io. Not for the reasons that Sumo pulled out, but because Io needs something to showcase her, and if nothing else, she's outnumbered. So if all the Judgment Day show up and show out, she's outnumbered. So you could debut somebody for support, or in the midst of everything, she could just get the quick roll up, 1, 2, 3, roll out, and Liv is upset. And that could also, fuel some fire too. So I'm going to go
Roxanne could cost Liv the champion, the match.
Right. Inadvertently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go Io. I really want to pick Liv, but I'm going to go Io just because I think that may be how they're thinking. KG?
Live.
I figured you would. That's why I saved you for last. But I'm also saving you for first. This is a big one. I know you are going to be emotional. You may cry. Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. I give you the easy, or I think our most important unanimous technically, but you can go ahead just in case you got another idea.
If I use the logic that I was taught by the Nubian sumo, Brock Lesnar goes out looking up at the lights. Obafemi wins.
Okay. All right. Sumo, he put you over. Are you agreeing with his summation there?
I shall come out to my sissy-fied bop and be the ruler,
Oh, the
the
Jabari tribe.
dominator.
I'm assuming he's saying Obafemi.
I got a stipulation on this one.
What?
This is just for the sumo. If Obafemi somehow happens to lose, you got to do the Obafemi bop on a reaction show.
No. Oh, yeah. No. Let's spice it up. Not even put that in there. How about we see who comes closest to the pin without going over for how many suplexes Brock Lesnar is going to do. How many times Obafemi?
Oh, you want to make a side bet on how many?
No. This is a bet. Sumo, if you get close to the pin or you hit the number, then you don't have to do the bop. If KG or I get it, then you have to do the bop. It has nothing to do with the championship. No, not going to affect that. This is literally just to see you do the bop.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So, who's picking the number?
Well, we can all pick a number. Whoever's closest.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I mean, let's do it like this. We all pick a number. All right, let's make this fair.
All right.
We all pick a number, and we take the average. And I'll decide as to whether or not I want the over or the under.
How you feel about that, KG?
I'm with that.
Okay. All right. I say 7.
I say 5.
Okay, just to make this easy, I'll go 6. So we'll just say 6 suplexes. And I'll take the over.
Okay.
So if he gets 7 or more, I don't have to do the bop.
Don't have to do the bop.
I have to do the bop.
But if he gets to 6 and then there's no
doesn't
more
go
than
over,
6, then I have
win.
to do the bop.
That's fair. KG should have picked the higher number. 5. You set him up for that one.
I'm being generous here.
You could have said 9. We're doing an average, buddy. But I think we were universal for Obafemi.
Yeah, we all agree on Obafemi
for recording purposes. All right. World Heavyweight Championship. My tribal chief Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Is this even a question?
Yeah, actually it is. There's a lot of speculations and things out in the wilderness on,
parts to this bit.
Yeah.
Who going first?
I'm gonna go first. I'm thinking. And it's weird because what I'm weighing is, are they paying attention to Nubian Sumo's girl? And is that their deciding factor on which way they book this?
Who's my girl?
Athena.
Oh, no.
And it may sound trivial, but think about that.
No.
You just had somebody surpass his record. What would it look like if we allow him to lose after your record just got beaten by somebody that is in the competitor's promotion?
Well, that had already happened. I mean, it was
Roman hasn't lost.
It was
Roman hasn't lost.
It wasn't in a company that they were worried about, but
It's associated with Tony Khan.
Well, Trish Adora is with Ring of Honor and AEW.
They not worried about that.
Yeah, they wasn't worried about that one.
They worried about.
They necessarily worried about this one either.
No, because she's putting graphics out. She's replying to graphics. You know, the internet wrestling community is putting out there the fact that she has surpassed Roman Reigns. So that means their ego could come into play, where normally they would say, hey, you know, let's go this route because Roman's probably got another movie coming up, or Street Fighter promotions or whatever. That could change the tide. Not for him to just be champion, just to be, well, really for him to be champion, just to be champion. So that way he can just say, hey, you know, that longest reigning, you could lose at any time, but I'm still the guy. If Seth loses, what does that do for Seth?
And they're billing this as the last time.
Where we go with Seth? Oh man, I'm gonna hate it and I'm gonna regret it. I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. Forgive me, my tribal chief. Only because if nothing else, this means that on Monday Night Raw, the first person in Seth Rollins' face is Braun Breaker. I done beat you, what, 2 times already? And now you're holding something I want? Mathematically, I can take it right now. So, yeah. Sorry, my tribal chief. KG?
I asked the question, is this even a question?
I know, but you got to say it. I'm playing a role of sumo today. Roman Reigns it is. All right, sumo. Agree or disagree? Oh man, yeah,
Don is Taylor Marie on this one, out on the limb.
Yeah, that's gonna be that make or break one right there.
No. We got some battles. I think everyone except for
2, right? We were unanimous on
2. Yeah, we got 2 unanimous. So,
all right. So, sumo, you got the decision on this one to start. Undisputed WWE Championship, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
I'm going Punk.
Okay. KG?
I agree. I'm gonna go CM Punk.
Guess I'll have to third that emotion in.
That's another one.
Just makes sense.
Off break.
If they're not going to heel turn Cody, then this makes sense. To spark the heel turn afterwards.
Walking into SummerSlam with 3 wins each.
It's going to be interesting.
And
I
being
think
that
it's
they have
supposed to be a Danhausen match too. Danhausen versus Dominic. Is that still on?
That's a good question.
I've seen it. I could be mistaken. Let me double check just to make sure I'm not going cray-cray. Yeah, we got Danhausen versus Dom is also one, so we'll pick that one. KG could go ahead and pick. I mean, we pretty much know how it's going to go. Actually, I don't know.
Fourth win across.
I don't know. It is Dom.
Danhausen.
It is Dirty Dom, though.
Danhausen.
I'll go Danhausen.
I'm going Dom.
Ooh. Weird.
Yeah, if it's a pre-show match, Danhausen.
And that's probably what it's going to be. It's going to be a
there
pre-show
are no
match.
pre-show matches. There are no pre-show matches anymore.
Well,
what?
Leave it up to this one.
They haven't done pre-show matches in a while. Since they went to the 5-match format, they haven't done pre-show matches.
Yeah, but it's a 5-match format. Just up to 12 matches. But it is 2 nights, though, so technically.
It's 2 nights, so you're looking at 6 matches a night.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. We'll see. I'll try to give Danhausen a win. He just got his action figure. You know, he's trying to get himself in NBA 2K20. Was it 2K28 as a playable character? Would you play as Danhausen on the Knicks? KG?
You are cussed. Of course I would.
Oh, man. That'd be like what he should be campaigning is to put himself in NBA Jam, if that was possible. All right, so it's in the books. I'm a little nervous. I gotta say, for you guys, don't want to make it easy for you. Just wanted to let you know. But 7 days from now, we will know exactly which way the tide is turning. But then, if you think about it, I wasn't winning night 1 in WrestleMania, but by the end of night 2.
Yeah, you had a serious comeback that night.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I give it to you.
So anything is possible for me. The rest of you guys, it is what it is. But we definitely appreciate everybody riding with us. Great show. We got our picks in. We covered some interesting topics, to say the least. KG got a couple clips to put out there and get some controversy and stuff like that going. And then, if nothing else, next week, tune in, hopefully, to see the Nubian Sumo do the bop.
Not happening.
That's gonna be worth the cost of admission right there. Any last words, fellas?
No, I'm good. I think we've covered a lot. So yeah.
All right. Well, I guess at the end of the day, diversify your bonds, folks.
Konnichiwa, bitches.